insight, and great storytelling. Starring Bobby Carpenter and Jeff Tito Thitoff. It's time to attack and dominate.
Attack and dominate on a Brody Thursday, which is really a Brody Friday because he is mailing it in tomorrow, ending our Ripken-esque streak of 4 straight days of all three of us being here together. Good morning, Bob.
Great morning to you, Jeffrey.
We've got a big show lined up for you today. Morning Juice, sponsored by Riverside Bank in Dublin. 2 full hours here on YouTube, the Fan app, HD3. Download the show anytime and catch us from 10 a.m. to noon on 10 TV Plus. Facebook and Twitter live today there, Bode?
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Like I said, big show lined up for you today. We are going to make a surprise phone call to Mark the Shark at 6:30 a.m., roughly around that time. See if we can wake him up, or if he's already up, maybe. The Guards have their season opener tonight, 10:10 p.m. The Guards are in Seattle. Also, the Reds host Boston today at 4:10. The Yankees beat San Francisco last night 7-0. Bob, how much of that game did you watch? Okay.
Is that serious?
I just didn't know if you watched any of it, Bob.
I watched some of the North Carolina Northwestern women's lacrosse game last night.
There you go. Okay.
It's a rematch of the final from last year.
Who won? Do we know?
Northwestern won at the very end. Overtime.
Big Ten.
Pretty exciting.
That's huge.
Watched Landman after that.
Landman. Oh, is that the one with Costner? Is that the one with the with Tom?
I'm not even going to listen.
No, it's got the other guy.
I'm not the other guy. Listen. I was literally telling my wife this yesterday. Your lack of pop culture and understanding of what's going on. I told her I can't just waste my time watching things that people don't care about or see anymore, because that
Billy Bob Thornton.
That's congratulations.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you. I feel like I got. I remember that one, Bob. Heat over the Cavs last night, 120-103. We've got Sweet 16 action tonight. Texas, Purdue at 7:10. Iowa, Nebraska, 7:30. Battle of the Corn. Arkansas, Arizona, 9:45. Illinois, Houston, 10:05. Big night again for the Jackets there, Bob. They are at Montreal at 7 o'clock tonight. Mm-hmm. Pittsburgh's at Ottawa. And Dallas is taking on the Islanders. So those are big games right there. Regarding the Jackets' playoff chances. So, but tonight should be a good night in college basketball. Like I said, we've got Mark the Shark, hopefully. We'll see. This is live radio. We're going to do this at 6:30. Try to give him a call. We also have Albert Breer on today. He'll join us at 7 a.m. Ya Highness at 7:35.
Still alive.
Still alive. Yes, he is posting.
As far as we know.
Yes, he is posting. He posted from Vegas, and he's posted he's gotten home okay. So can't wait to hear what he has to say about the trip and about his Sweet 16, his forecast for that. Bob, I'm surprised. Did you talk to your wife about my lack of pop culture?
Yeah. Because I said it's becoming exhausting on the show. It used to be like kind of fun. And
you think it's exhausting, really?
Yeah, it is.
Really?
The fact that you haven't seen any movie or show that probably 90% of our consumption base would have probably seen or have a general knowledge or awareness of.
Huh. Exhausting's a strong word.
It is exhausting. That's why I said I've carefully chose that word.
Wow.
It was something I had been thinking about for a while. I make a reference and I'm like, Thitoff. I go, well, I'm talking Gladiator. The fact you make the Remember the Titans reference. I'm guessing that of the people that consume this content, 90% of them have seen Remember the Titans, if not more.
There's your poll question right there, Bode. Have you seen Remember the Titans if you're a listener of Morning Juice? Yes or no? You think 90%? That seems like a high number to me.
Bodie, he's seen it, and it came out before he was born.
What year did it come out?
I don't know. When I was in high school.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe not before. You may have been 2 or 3.
2000.
He sure as hell wasn't going to school.
All right. Well, he's 3, probably preschool at that point. Anyway, but yeah, I get you saying, Bob. I just exhausting seems like a strong word.
That's what it is, because when I mention something and then you having zero content knowledge of it or base with it.
I threw BBT at you.
I don't even know what that means.
Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah, but you have no idea the basis of anything going on with it.
It's a movie with oil.
It's not a movie. It's a show.
A show with oil. I'm sorry. It's a show with oil. I know my wife says
that, a show with oil.
Yeah, it's a show with oil. I mean,
that's okay, but that's
like Dallas.
Not really.
Only different.
A lot different than Dallas.
Okay. Right.
And I've watched some Dallas.
I've seen parts of it. My wife watches it, so I've seen
That's
parts
my
of it.
point. Is like your wife watches it. So what are you consuming?
I don't consume much, Bob. I consume sports. That's what I consume. Sports.
What sports are you watching?
Whatever I can get into, whatever I can watch, whatever's on. I mean, I watch sports. I don't.
What'd you watch last night?
Yeah.
Last night, let's see.
Because I watched sports last night.
You did watch sports last night, yes. Last night I did not watch anything.
Okay.
Nothing last night.
So
I worked until about 6 and then took
So
Artie
did I.
Artie to practice from 6:30 to 8. Got home at around 8:15 and
so you stayed there for the whole practice.
yeah, I stayed there and watched the practice, yeah.
Okay.
And then got home around 8:15. Reconnected with my wife, talked about things, talked about our day. Don't you dare. Talked about our day. Tucked my daughter and son in and went to bed myself.
Okay.
That's a heck of a day.
That is a day.
That's what a lot of my days are there, Bob. So, it's like I don't have the just because of my life, I'm busy. And I know you're busy too. I'm not saying you're not. But, I don't typically if I've got an hour or two to kill, I don't spend it watching a show or something that I can't watch on a consistent basis. It's more of a choice because I don't like if I start watching your Games of Thrones thing there that I will end up being enthralled with it to where it'll affect my lifestyle because I'll watch it I want to
spend your free time consuming that.
Right, but I'd rather spend my free time just doing things with the kids and the wife and just doing things like that. So I make I'm a conscientious objector to things like that.
Okay. I mean, I guess. Conscientious objector. It's a big word for this situation.
You ready to do what's today in history? Let's do it.
Time to get smarter. Morning Juice presents Today in History. Here's your professor, Bobby Carpenter.
Let's get poppy culture there, Bob.
I don't know if this is pop culture at all. It's today in history, so it's historical culture, if you will. It is Thursday, March 26th, the 85th day of the year, 280 days remaining in this 2026. This date, 1812. The political cartoon in the Boston Gazette was the first to feature the term gerrymandering, which is how they shape electoral districts, a word that is commonly used now, and people often wonder the origins of it. Well, there it is. This date, 1915, the Vancouver Millionaires win the 1915 Stanley Cup in the first title played between the National Hockey Association and the Pacific Coast Hockey Association, which I'm guessing with Vancouver being in the Pacific Coast Hockey Association. 1934, the United Kingdom first introduces their driving test, meaning you have to actually pass a test before you're able to get your license.
I don't think that's even in effect anymore in the United States.
No. Here's
Not
the
in
keys.
Columbus.
Yeah. And I watched somebody just stop in the middle of the road yesterday and put their hazards on.
Sure. Yeah.
And I was like, what do you think that's okay? I wanted to just sit there and lay the horn on them. And by the way, the best thing is they're doing construction on Lane Avenue and you can't turn left off of it onto Northwest. Putting this huge gas line. It's going to be like this for a year. And people pull up. There's a police officer.
think.
Yeah, maybe longer. There's a police officer that sits there in the construction zone watching, and people will still pull up. There's like 3 signs that say you can't turn left because it's single lane and it will back up forever. And they still try to turn left.
That sign's not
The
for
police
me.
officer gets out of the car, and then people will start driving. I'm like, dude, there's like 8 cars behind you. There's 10 coming. You're not going to be able to turn left. Just go. There's signs. And if you can't figure out your way around it, then you need to just leave this world. I mean, I can't deal with it anymore. I can't. Like, those are the people, I don't care. I just want to pull them out of their car, beat them, and leave them on the side of the road. Like how inconsiderate or ignorant they are.
I've got some experience doing that from Grand Theft Auto. If you,
my man Kenny
some help.
Peterson had some experience doing it. A guy, he picked the wrong guy. He rolled his window down. Thankfully, he didn't get him out of there. Kenny would have beat him to a pulp. This date, 1945, the Battle of Iwo Jima ends, a big turning point in the Pacific Theater, giving the U.S. a foothold down there. But in 1969, I Heard It Through the Grapevine by Marvin Gaye hits number 1. There we go. This thing, 1974, George Foreman TKOs Ken Norton in the second round for the heavyweight title.
Okay, 7-8, and here we go as Foreman comes banging on in the second round. Norton goes down again. A left hand on the side of the head. Norton goes back. He'll have to take another 8 count. No, he doesn't. His legs are rubbery as the left hand goes to the side of his head. A right uppercut, a left jab, and a vicious left sends Norton crumbling to the canvas for the second time. Norton is in Queersville. He doesn't know where he is. It's up to 5, 6. I don't know if Norton can make it. It might be all over right here. It's up to 9, 10, and are they going to continue it, or are they going to stop it? It looks like it may be all over, and it is all over. George Foreman retains the heavyweight championship of the world.
There you go. Are they going to stop it? They ultimately did. This thing, 1976, Wings releases Wings at the Speed of Sound, their album. 1982, Ebony and Ivory are released by Paul McCartney and Stevie Wonder. I like your little dancing there, Thitoff.
Beautiful video.
I'm sure it was. It's a couple of dudes dancing with each other
On
maybe.
a piano, like a large. They were on a piano.
Yeah, of course.
Like walking on the piano and sitting on the keys and stuff like that. Yes, beautiful.
Walking on the piano.
They were. Yeah, it was like
on
you
the
know,
top of a grand piano.
No, it was I guess graphically like they had this big piano they would like walk. It was like a green
CGI?
screen. Yes, I don't know if CGI they called back then. What would they call it
Green
back then? Just
screen.
green screen. Yeah, but they were walking on the piano. Yes.
Oh, there we go. This date, 1998. Man in the Mirror hits #1 by Michael Jackson.
That man in the mirror looked a lot different from the time he started to the time he ended.
I just had to make sure he knew what he was looking at.
The new Michael movie is coming out. Have you seen the ads for that?
Is it a
The
biopic?
previews. It's supposed to be kind of like that, yes. I don't know how real it will be. I mean, I'm sure it'll be dancing and singing, but I don't know about the extracurriculars.
Who do you get to play Michael Jackson?
I know.
Yeah,
I don't know who the actor was. It wasn't somebody I recognized.
I thought it was.
Or was somebody you recognized?
I don't know if you would recognize.
I
him,
probably
Tito,
wouldn't.
But
There you go.
Is it Burt Reynolds? No?
no.
That'd be quite the reach for him.
Let's see here.
In fact, he's dead in white.
Well, I'm not
Other
saying
than that,
are we
no.
excluding white guys from this role?
I think for the
Is
later,
this might be a
right.
dual role? Is it
You're
his
right,
whole
it could
life?
be. This is going to be like a Michael B. Jordan playing twins. It's going to be somebody playing Michael and somebody playing a different
I think
Michael.
you'd have a young black man playing him until probably age 25, 26. Then maybe some sort of you could even have like a Latino guy possibly playing. I mean, there's a lot of variation in there.
I don't know if you have a Latino playing him,
Why?
and I feel uncomfortable talking about this.
Why?
Because I don't think he looked Sammy Sosa white, not Latino white.
Well, there was a point where it was a transition phase. You just remember him at the end.
You're right, Bob. Okay, so there may be 3 actors there because the
That's what
one
I'm
at
saying,
the
like-
very end was much different. Did you get
Oh,
the actor's
yeah.
name there, Bode?
Yeah, it's actually Jafar Jackson, son of Jermaine.
Oh, his nephew.
His nephew, yeah.
There. By the way, the fact his name is Jafar.
That's
The
amazing.
evil genie. I mean, this is out of Aladdin. Gosh, the name Jafar coming strong from the top ropes.
Whenever I hear a name like that, I wonder what lost. Like, okay, we can name Jafar this. Oh, Jafar is much better. Like, which one was second or third in that list of names for the kid?
Jafar Armstrong had a pretty good year in 2018 for Notre Dame. Then he got hurt, but
Jafar.
Armstrong, yeah.
It's amazing.
That's a pretty good name, Jafar Armstrong.
I don't mind that.
Yeah. Pretty strong.
Yeah.
This date, 1997. This was the first.
This was fun to research.
I'm sure you probably didn't know about this.
No, I did not.
You knew a lot about Jim Jones and Jones
Oh.
down there,
Is
but
Koresh?
no, not Koresh. This was like the first one that I was probably like old enough to fully understand. This was Heaven's Gate. They put those white Nikes on. You drink the Kool-Aid. They're going to follow that asteroid. They're follow that comet. But
You're following something.
In the tail is where the spaceship was.
Okay, here we
That's
go.
Heaven's Gate, taking you right up there. Had 39 bodies are found in 1997.
They call him Doe.
Marshall Herb Applewhite Doe is basically their god.
For more than 20 years, how has he convinced these followers he can lead them through the gates of heaven? He promises they'll be carried to the next level of existence in a UFO. Does he believe what he's saying? As he asks them to record video farewells to Earth, death just hours away.
Tinkerbell warns Peter Pan that every time someone stops believing in little people like her, a little person dies.
Wait.
People in the world who thought that I had completely lost my marbles. They're not right.
These people who are laughing 24 or 48 hours later ingest poisonous barbiturates and kill themselves with bags tied over their heads.
I just don't understand. Like, I will never be able to wrap my head around people joining a cult. Like, how at any point in time you didn't just stop.
Have you ever thought about having just an unrelenting belief in something? Like if Marcus Freeman said, "This is going to get us a title, Bodie," and he came there and said, "These are the things we need to do."
This is when the UFO is going to show up.
And that's how we're going to win the title.
I stand corrected.
That's how Notre Dame's going to win the title. We're going to bring Lou Holtz back. He's going to come back.
He's driving the UFO.
But you got to take these pills first, and then he'll appear to us and tell us how we get to win. On the 40th anniversary of Notre Dame's last national title.
I don't know that we've hit 40 years yet.
2 years.
Well,
that's my point.
We're 2 years.
You got to start the call now.
You
can't just jump into it. Okay, in 2 years, these are the things Lou's going to reveal to me, but this is what we have to do. And you have like little worship ceremonies. Pratt said it. I mean,
number of mini cults.
Yeah,
more as a leader and follower.
More money as a leader, more fun as a follower.
You see how quickly you got Bodie to join the Marcus Freeman cult right there? That's
right.
How it happens, Bodie.
I can't believe anybody would do that. But
wait, Marcus Freeman, hang on now.
Let me sell you something that you want to see happen that you might believe in. There you go. And then this date, 2000, Mr. Phil Collins, "You'll Be in My Heart," wins an Oscar for best. More actually, but probably at a faster pace than most.
He might be at the dog years rate.
It just stinks. Like I said yesterday, I always wanted to see him in concert, never got a chance to.
If you saw him now, you overpay for the ticket probably.
Well, exactly. Even the last probably 5 years, I wish I could hop in the time machine, hot tub time machine, and go back. Some birthdays today: famed poet Robert Frost, born in the state 1874. Sandra Day O'Connor, born in the state in 1930, the first woman part of SCOTUS.
And also the one Riggins told, "Loosen up, Sandy."
There we go.
At the White House dinner where he was drunk, and he said, "Loosen up, Sandy baby."
There you go. Hopefully he smacked her on the rear end, too.
Okay, I don't know if we want him smacking her, Bob.
On the rear end.
On the rear end, okay.
Love tap.
Love tap. You're right. Yeah, you're right. Not
I
like in Tito.
I just took my Ohio State sexual harassment thing.
Did you pass?
Yeah, I passed.
Okay.
Man, listen, I'm a pro. We've been taking these... Take about 4 between the phishing emails and everything and workplace conduct. My goodness. I had to take
an AI one yesterday for work.
That's great. Not to be phished by AI.
Just how to use AI and how it can help you and what things AI does and what things it doesn't do and things like that. It was a lot of fun.
There's nothing it can't do.
Well, that's true. That's fair. But just what you should use AI for, yes.
What you should be. There you go. Positive impacts of it.
Yes.
Some positive impacts in the world. Live long and prosper. Mr. Leonard, is it Nimoy? Nimoy, born in this date, 1931, better known as Spock of Star Trek.
Champion, out of danger?
Yes.
Don't grieve, Admiral. Just logical. The needs of the many.
Well, this is when he dies.
Yes. Wrath of Khan. Star Trek
or
2.
the one. Spock.
Hey, pop culture references, Bodie. I get them.
And always shall be. Your friend. Live long and prosper.
See, Then they jumped the shark because they brought him back to life for Star Trek 3 and then 4 and then whatever.
What are you talking about, man? This is the future. They could do whatever they wanted. They have machines that just created food out of thin air. You're telling me you couldn't bring somebody back to life?
I love the fact they used to have the watches you could talk into, and we've got that now. That's fantastic.
Dude, we're on our way.
We had the flip phone, but they had the flip thing with their,
We're on our way. We're past Star Trek.
We just haven't beamed anybody up yet, as far as I know.
Not
yet. Heaven's Gate Cult
They
tried.
tried. They're working there. This
Good
is
point there, Bode.
Someone's got to be a pioneer.
The first, yeah.
My friend told me, though, pioneers get slaughters, settlers survive. So Heaven's Gate, they may have been the pioneers. They just couldn't get it landed. Oh, goodness. One of the great actors of our generation, the breadth that he had in his work, the wit, what he was able to do, from Godfather to Elf, born in 1940, Mr. James Caan.
Dad!
All right, let's get it over with.
I walked all day and night to find you.
You look like you came from the North Pole.
That's exactly where I came from. Santa must have called you.
Oh, yeah, sure. He just got off the cell phone with me.
You did?
So, go on.
Go on with what?
Well, are you going to sing a song or something, or can I just go back to work?
A song? Yeah. Anything for you, Dad.
It is my goal this year to watch that movie at Christmas time.
For the first time?
Yeah, it's a pretty good one.
Yeah, it's pretty good. James Caan, I loved him in Honeymoon in Vegas. That was a great
James
movie.
Caan's a great actor.
Was, yeah.
Well, his works are still out there.
Yes, they are. You're right.
His son's really good, too.
Who's his son?
I believe his son is...
Jimmy Caan?
Have you ever seen Varsity Blues?
Are you asking Bodie or me?
I don't know why I even ask you any of that anymore.
Is that the one that's got the dude who died recently, like the James Vanderbeek or something?
Vanderbeek or Vanderbeek?
Whatever it was. I don't know. Is that him? Is that he in that one?
He's the yes.
Okay.
Him and Paul Walker in it, but also Scott Caan.
Okay.
Is his son, better known as Tweeter. He was also in Hawaii Five-0.
That's where I've seen him. Yes.
He's been in the Ocean series.
I've seen him in Hawaii Five-0. That's right.
Yeah.
That
you
makes sense.
You watch Hawaii Five-0?
I've seen. My wife watches it, and I've seen parts of it.
How does she have so much time to watch stuff, but you don't?
Because I'm always working, Bob.
You get off of work at 6.
You're right. I get off work at 6. You're right. And then what do I do then? Go home and ignore the family? No, I've got to be a dad and a father and a leader.
Dad, a father, and a leader?
That's what I got to be, Bob.
Your son watches Pinocchio naked on the couch.
I didn't say I'm always successful being a dad, father, leader. By the way, that's on her watch. That wasn't on my watch, Bob. On my watch, it wouldn't have happened.
The continuation.
It would not have happened on my watch.
It was an NBA-style continuation finish.
I promise you, no, he's never watched Pinocchio naked when he's been under my care.
Leaders lead.
That's what I'm saying, Bob.
Leaders lead. You permit it, you promote it.
You think Winston Churchill watched pop media, pop culture? No.
I think he was pop culture.
No, he was busy leading. I'm not saying I'm Winston Churchill. I'm not saying I'm not.
Turning 78 today, the leader of Aerosmith, Mr. Steven Tyler.
Of course he did. No dude looks like a lady. We're getting Dream On
that's
because
Dream
of
On's
Miracle.
his best one.
Well, Dream On's also Bodie's favorite one, and only one.
That's their best song.
You think it is?
Yes. It's their first big hit, and by far the best. If you can't sing it anymore because it's too hard, it's your best song.
That's okay.
Their best
Walk
one.
This Way was pretty good.
Their other ones are really good. I'm not debating that, but Dream On.
Dream On's the best one. You're probably right.
Dude,
yeah.
it's the opening to that.
Yeah.
Makes me think about probably doing heroin. So any song that can create that imagery in my mind is doing something right. Martin Short turning 76 today. John Stockton, how old do you think he is, Thitoff?
Okay, I'm going to say John Stockton is probably 63.
Good job. He just turned 64.
Okay.
Bodie's like, man, he must have been a lot older than Michael Jordan. I was like, how old do you think Michael Jordan is? He goes, in his mid-50s. I'm guessing he's over 62.
Yeah.
He graduated, or he was drafted in 83 when I was born.
84, right?
Maybe 83 season.
Yeah,
84.
Yeah.
And so, and Michael Jordan's, 62, I think?
Yeah, that 62, 63.
Yeah, he's like right in that wheelhouse as well.
A lot of people said Stockton was one of the dirtiest players in the NBA.
19 seasons, 10 All-Stars, and
just like he's
Olympic
like
gold medal.
The guy at the rec league will step on your foot when you try to jump or whatever, pull on your jersey and things like that.
Yeah.
Very dirty.
You ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
That's fair.
Whatever it takes.
They applaud the mailman. They want Karl Malone to get the bucket from John Stockton to break the record held by Magic Johnson. Stockton with the ball front court left. He looks to Karl Malone. He's got him low. The mailman jumps it. Shot up. It's up. He did it. He did it. John Stockton to Karl Malone. John Stockton with 11 assists. They're on their feet. A new NBA assist king of the NBA. John Stockton. The crowd going crazy.
Did Jason Kidd pass him?
No, Stockton's
He's still number one.
I think Chris Paul might be number 2. I mean, Stockton's still got a lead on it, though.
Stockton's overrated.
Yeah.
What do you mean overrated?
He got a lot of press because he was a white guy. I'm telling you, there's a lot of point guards out there.
Utah?
Yes. I would take
He
Magic.
played for 2. I'm not saying he would. Okay, I don't
He never
know.
played for an NBA championship team.
He never played for
Not
an
a
NBA
winner.
top winner.
Yeah, he never won the championship.
I understand that.
Yeah.
He played for 2.
I would take.
I wouldn't define him as. I would say that he's properly rated. I don't think that anybody's taking him over Magic Johnson.
I would take.
What debates have you been in where that's
okay,
been the case?
He's got the most assists. I'm saying like Magic was better. Isaiah Thomas was better.
Isaiah, I would say, is on the fringe, but yes.
I would say Jason Kidd was better.
I don't know about that.
I don't know. I think Jason Kidd was better on that one. I don't know. I think he was a better
Derek
point guard.
White.
There's another good one there, Bodie. Thank you very much for not having a biased opinion on that one. But yeah,
I don't know that I would put Jason Kidd above him. But I mean, there's a lot of guys that you could take. Not a lot. There's a handful of guys you would take above him, but I don't think anybody's disputing that. Like I don't know anybody that's saying John Stockton is the best point guard of all time.
Okay.
So when you say he's overrated, that to me implies that there's like a strong contingent of people that think he's at one of the best, or one of the best 2 or 3, which I would put him in the top 5, probably on the back end of the top 5.
Yeah, I would do that too. And by the way, Bob,
I mean, Oscar Robertson's probably better than
Robertson's better than him. Trying to think what else. But we do have a meeting though every week where it's an anti-Stockton group, but we've got an idea
Stockton group
of how we're going to overtake the world and
that's good.
Go into space. But
then take the pills and put the bag on your head.
That's what we're going to do. We're going to tell you.
All-time assists for Stockton, 15,806. Chris Paul's second, 12,552.
Oh, gosh.
So.
Who's third, fourth, and fifth?
Jason Kidd, LeBron is fourth, and then Russell Westbrook is fifth.
There you go.
Steve Nash at number 6. He'd be another
I'd
one
take
on that
Nash
list.
over Stockton.
He won a couple of MVPs.
He did.
He did. I would say the thing is Stockton. Well, we can debate this a little bit.
That feels like a July topic.
Yeah. We got Kenny Chesney turning 58 today, my guy.
Rock and roll t-shirts and a typically bad attitude. Had no excuses for the things that we've done. We were brave, we were crazy, we were mostly young.
Wishing we were old.
Older.
Older. Keira Knightley turning 41 today, and Von Miller, the 7-time All-Pro, 2-time Super Bowl winner, turning 37 today.
And the Panthers have a 3rd and 10. Here comes pressure, and they've gotten to him. The ball is out in the end zone, and it's recovered by Malik Jackson for the touchdown. It was Von Miller with the strip sack, and Jackson with the recovery. It's a 3rd and 9. Rushing 4, ball comes out of the hands of Newton. It's on the ground and still on the ground. Picked up by T.J. Ward at the 4-yard line. Von Miller did it again.
I totally forgot he was on that Rams team. When you said 2-time, I was like, what am I forgetting? But, yeah.
Pretty good player there.
Oh, yeah.
Is he still playing, or did he finally?
He was just with Washington. I don't know that he's retired. I don't know if he's signed with anybody yet.
Yeah.
Because he was with the Bills then, right?
He was with the Bills for a couple years as well.
Yeah.
And then passing today in 1827, Mr. Ludwig von Beethoven. Some holidays and observances today. It's a Live Long and Prosper Day. It's National Wayne Day, Purple Day, Spinach Day, and Wear a Hat Day. And those are your historical events, your birthdays, your passings, your holidays, observances for this date, March 26th, the 85th day of the year. 280 days remaining in this 2026.
Well done, as always, General. Coming up next, we'll try to reach Shark, and we'll also talk a little bit of Pro Day from what Bob saw yesterday. That's next. Morning Juice.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have zero-turn, skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family-owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons located in Mount Sterling and Marysville or online at greenandsons.com for all your Kubota needs.
What does it mean to give 100%? It means giving everything you've got, every single day. That's why the V Foundation gives 100% of every dollar donated directly to cancer research. So no matter what you give, we give 100% for life-saving research victories, 100% to making new discoveries that lead to innovative treatments, 100% to groundbreaking cancer research that could one day save someone you love. We know cancer research is working. Over the last 30 years, an estimated 4.5 million lives have been saved thanks to game-changing research breakthroughs. But there is more work to do. That's why the V Foundation gives 100% of every dollar donated directly to cancer research. We will always give 100% to accelerate victory over cancer.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Donate today at v.org.
We are the keepers of the wild, America's original and most invested conservationists. For more than 80 years, we've been committed to conserving wildlife and the natural landscapes that define our nation. From rugged alpine ridgelines to peaceful tall grass prairies, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. Our funding has led to cleaner water, fresher air, and improved wildlife habitat. From abundant fish and waterfowl populations to robust deer and elk herds, nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters, stewards of the American outdoors.
America's hunters and target shooters, along with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, have invested more than $46 billion to help state fish and wildlife agencies manage and protect wildlife and wildlands across America. For more information, visit outdoorstewards.org.
Thanks to your support, the nonprofits VetTix and First Tix have given away tens of millions of tickets and counting to vets currently serving military, the immediate family of troops killed in action, and our brave current and former first responders. These tickets are a meaningful way to say thank you to America's heroes. And now we want you to be part of the mission. Got extra tickets to concerts, games, or special events? Or want to see if you qualify? We want you to go to vettix.org and firsttix.org today. Give something to those who gave.
One man is a national champion, NFL veteran, and local business leader. The other man is Tito. This is Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
All right. Shark didn't answer. Disappointing. I'll text him. Why wouldn't I? I don't think I'll get a response. If he's not answering the phone, he's probably not going to do that either. We'll give it a shot here, though. So, Bob, Pro Day yesterday. Louis Riddick was singing the praises of Arvell Reese.
Yeah. Arvell looked good. Some people didn't think he did. People take still photos of things and start talking about shin angles and bending, and I'm like...
Shin angles?
Well, it gives an ankle flexibility and, like, your ability to turn a corner and do stuff like that, and I get all that. I mean, those things are real, and we can measure everything now, so that's important. But, like, go watch the guy move and run around and what he can do. And, like, he hasn't been doing some of those drills at the level that some of the, like, pure pass rushers have all the time. And so, yeah, there's things that he could improve on, but it doesn't mean that he doesn't have the ability to improve on it. That's the thing.
Yeah, Riddick with very strong words there, so I guess that means Riddick was in the house, which is good. Was there? I know that Breer was not there.
No.
But there was a bunch of pro days going on yesterday anyway.
I don't think he went to any of them when you ask him. But
he might not have, but I'm saying there's a lot going on, so it's like hard to pick and choose where you're going to go on that one. But the pro day yesterday, did Tavion throw, or was it like what all quarterbacks were throwing out there?
Tavion rotated with Julian throwing some. Yeah,
he did, okay.
So Julian threw the majority of the stuff. But Tavian did get in there working some throws and looked pretty good doing it. I mean, people took obviously his best stuff out there.
Sure.
It's a lot for a guy who's never really played in a game to come in there and you're throwing and there's scouts and GMs.
Right.
Head coaches all around, and you have to just go in there and, air it out. Like, so I'm sure there was some nerves on his behalf, even more so than a game with that, because you're there to facilitate other players and to make sure that they, can do stuff, not and so it's not about you, it's about someone else. So your goal is to make them look good.
When it comes to Carnell Tate, did not run the 40 at the combine or at pro day.
Not accurate.
He did run. I thought I read that he didn't run it
yesterday.
He did. Okay, but he did run at the combine though. Okay, yeah. He did run at the combine. You're right. 'Cause that was a big controversy there.
Yes.
Okay. Is it a big deal? Is it a deal at all that he didn't run it at the pro day or not?
I was curious if he would. He was one of the few guys I thought might rerun it.
Right.
But I don't know if that matters. Like,
it shouldn't. Right.
The people that I talked to, with a couple head coaches and a few GMs that I know pretty well, I was just talking to them about different guys, and they asked me for comps and what I think about this. And then I was like, one of the teams has a top half of the draft pick, and he's like, we'd be happy with with 4 of your guys at our selection, and he's drafting well before 16. So obviously that doesn't impact his thought on it,
right?
So he's like, if we use all 4 of your guys, we would feel very comfortable taking it our place. So I can't imagine any of these guys sliding past like 13 or 14, possibly even 10.
Yeah, that's the way I look at it too, Bob. And when the speed thing, and because there was so much.
I looked at one of the guys who was there with Dallas, and I was talking to, and it's like, I think CeeDee Lamb ran a 4.5 something. He didn't seem to bother him getting open.
Yeah, CeeDee didn't run anything crazy good.
But he was never known as a blazer.
No.
Like, no one looks at Carnell and be like, you're a pure speed guy. He's 6'3", he was 200 pounds. He runs really smooth routes. He gets on top of guys. He's played against good players. Ooh. And how long have you been under her?
Don't.
Line.
But there is, there has been, though, Bob, guys that, and you probably know this also. There's a difference between 40 speed and football speed.
Oh, yeah. That's what people talk about. How fast is Caleb Downs? I don't know. He's probably not a 4.3 guy, but he runs a 4.4. He's got great anticipation. And there's more to when you start talking about guys in speed than just 40 speed. Like, there's acceleration. And I'm more concerned with a 10 and a 20 on a lot of positions than I am a 40. Now, in the back end, you do need long end speed, but especially if you're a safety and you're coming forward, like, your first 20 to me is still more important than your overall 40.
Well, I think just real quick with Tate too, it was a 4.5.
Yeah.
Like if he went out there and ran a 4.7, that would be a little like, oh man,
I know.
But there is a number that it's like, oh, that is a bit slow. But like, it was a 4.51 or 4.52. I think like it wasn't like it was insanely slow.
And there were some people having time differently. There was dispute about that, about what his real time was.
There's the conflicting reports and all that stuff, and people go to push their narrative, and I get it.
And not comparing the two, but Jerry Rice was never fast, but Jerry Rice was football fast. He was good enough when he got the ball.
There's a lot of guys. So I just mentioned CeeDee Lamb. There's plenty of guys that you go out and they're not blazers. But I thought Carnell looked really good running routes, caught the ball really well. Julian threw it really well to him. It was nice to see Tavian out there throwing it some. Brandon Ennis ran routes too. JJ did not, which I completely understand on his behalf. But it looked pretty good.
You mentioned the Tavion St. Clair thing. That's interesting. I thought about that, Bob. Yeah, it's like
some people are like, look at him. I'm like, dude, there's some good and bad. Like he's got a lot of ability and a lot of talent, but there's still a lot of development for him. It's not easy to come in and. This offense is very complicated, and he's still working through some things. It's just a consistency thing, which is what it is with most guys.
On March 22nd of 2023, so just a hair over 3 years ago today, Albert Breer tweeted out, one scout gave me Jackson Smith and Jigba's 40 time for his pro day for Ohio State because he didn't run at the combine, 4.53.
Yeah. Right. Not too bad, though.
I think it's been
highest
fine.
paid receiver now in football. Yeah, I'd say he'd be okay. All right, coming up next. And by the way, I did text Shark Just so you know, I'll let you know. We will keep that. We'll keep you abreast on that because I'm sure you'll want to hear.
He was a no-show.
Well, it wasn't a no-show. He was an unshow. I don't think a no-show is the right. I think unshow is better. But we'll see if we can get him sometime during the show. We've got a lot of guests lined up still today. Obviously, we'll have Albert Breer coming up and also Ya Highness. But next, we will go through some quick hitters with Bodie. Morning Juice.
The madness is on, and the deals are going full court at Germain Toyota of Columbus. Drive home the Powerhouse 2026 Tundra at 2.99% APR for up to 72 months and $1,000 Toyota financial cash. That's a slam dunk offer. Or you can drive home in the always reliable 2026 Camry LE for just $269 a month for 36 months, 10,000 miles a year, and $36.99 due at signing. Don't sit on the sidelines. Hustle into Germain Toyota of Columbus on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road, or online at germaintoyota.net.
Hey folks, it's Austin Ward here.
And it's Berm from the Austin and Berm Show.
Berm and I have both done Awaken 180, which honestly should tell people something right there.
Right. It tells you that if it can work for you and me, it can work for anybody.
Because neither one of us has exactly been out here living or were living like a fitness influencer.
No, not unless you count fitness fast food tacos in my mouth.
You treated fast food like it was a love language.
I loved it, and I still do.
And look, that's fair, but that's also why Awaken 180 works for people listening right now. You don't have to be perfect. You don't even have to know what you're doing.
No, what you need is a plan. You need someone to help bring you along, and Awaken 180 does that. They tell you what to eat, when to eat, how to eat, and how to make it fit your life.
I lost 50 pounds with Awaken 180, then another 5 in free maintenance.
For me, it was 35. I'm in maintenance, and I'm under 200 pounds for the first time in 25 years.
This isn't just for some tiny group of people who already have it all figured out.
Nope, it works for real people with busy lives who are on the go just like us.
You know, if you're just tired of carrying that weight around, do what we did. It sounds like a lot of people out there can do exactly what Awaken 180 did for us.
Yeah, go to awaken180weightloss.com now.
Once there was a man who couldn't stand.
A mom who couldn't wait.
A scientific community that said it couldn't be done.
And then you.
And then I.
And then we.
Brought neuromuscular disease into screaming color with the Muscular Dystrophy Association.
For 75 years, our voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
We've willed the impossible into existence.
We've pushed the science,
raised the funds,
shifted the narrative,
and transformed the reality of life with neuromuscular diseases.
For 75 years, we've built communities together.
Established the field of neuromuscular medicine,
and made it thrive.
Call that a legacy.
Call it impact.
Call it momentum.
Just call it ours.
Because it's the generations of community heroes that give MDA the strength we have today.
And until neuromuscular disease is a thing of the past, you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
The best words to hear at the TSA security checkpoint? You're good to go. All it takes is a little preparation. Get to the airport early, bring a carry-on bag that fits in the overhead, and have an acceptable ID. Not all state-issued IDs will cut it. Check out tsa.gov/ID and see which TSA acceptable IDs make the grade, like a real ID or passport.
Before you jet, do a little prep, and you're good to go. Check out tsa.gov/ID or the MyTSA app.
If you're looking for the inside scoop on the Buckeyes, you've come to the right place. This is Morning Juice.
Morning Juice. Hey, Bodie, why don't you hit us quickly?
Morning Juice presents Quick Hitters.
All right, fellas, happy Thursday.
Happy Friday.
Or Friday,
yeah, whatever.
If you're me. Let's start here with college football. I saw this one on ESPN. Who has the most on the line this upcoming season? Well, ESPN debated that with some of their writers and reporters, asking two different questions. Question number one, which team has the most to prove upcoming this year in the fall of 2026? And then which head coach has the most to prove here in 2026? As for the teams, they went with Clemson. You had a handful of different writers picking out a team here, so I had a handful of different teams named. It'd be Clemson, Southern Cal, Wisconsin, Alabama, and Texas Tech. And then for coaches, Mike Norvell, Lane Kiffin in year one there at LSU, Matt Rule, Shane Beamer, and Jeff Brom all earned or
who are those coaches? We had Lane.
Lane Kiffin, Mike Norvell, Matt Rule, Shane Beamer at South Carolina, and then Jeff Brom at Louisville. So, Carp, any of those teams or coaches that in particular kind of...
I think if you look at the coaches, I mean, Lane, it's obviously his first year, and there was considerable pomp and circumstance with him heading down to LSU. But Norvell... needs to be better, needs to win. Matt Rule, they were better last year, but they still, They got to find a way to get over the hump. They got to get to like 9-3. And that, honestly, them performing well in basketball is not going to help his cause.
No, not at all.
It's only going to add pressure to him there to perform at a higher level. Shane Beamer, like they were supposed to be good last year, and they really faded down the stretch. And Braum at Louisville, I think there's just going to be some expectations for him, like him being there now. It's his second season, third?
Got to be at least his third.
I think it's at least his third. Maybe wouldn't be his fourth, would it?
They're going there, and like they're expecting him to compete for an ACC championship now.
With Keenhol's there now as well at Louisville. With
you got Link.
There. Yeah, you got Lincoln there. What year is he voted?
Year 4.
This is year 4. Okay.
Yeah, 10-4, 9-4, 9-4.
Okay.
So it's like not bad by any stretch, but at some
they
point,
want him to win the ACC.
Yeah, you want an extra win or two and 1 or 2 less losses.
See, I would not put. I don't think there's that much on Jeff Braum. I mean, there's some, but it's Louisville. It's Louisville football. If you win 9 or 10 games, that's a good season for Louisville football. That's a heck of a day. Like if you win 9 or 10 games at Louisville, that's good based on where they've been before. So I don't necessarily think him. The Norvell thing is real, that's for sure. What about James Franklin? Is there pressure on him?
I don't know in year 1. Not like they weren't great. I mean, they were bad. It wasn't like he was taking over a good situation. The thing is, with Lane Kiffin, like you're taking over a situation that isn't bad. Like they just were never able to be really good. Like Brian Kelly just couldn't get him over the hump. Kind of like Notre Dame. Maybe it's me, hi, I'm the problem, it's me. Maybe it's a little more man in the mirror situation. Maybe not the program as much. And so, yes, that's where I think that pressure is there for Lane. Like Braum, I think it's like we got to get to an ACC championship.
Yeah.
Hell, Duke won it last year. I think that's the problem.
5 losses.
Yeah.
Duke's also becoming a basketball school last time I checked. Bob.
And Louisville, too, just real quick. Like, they won at Miami last year.
Right, yeah.
Like, but they still then had a couple losses that it was like, how did we beat Miami and then lose to this team?
More pressure, Bob. Lincoln Riley or Luke Fickell? Now, by pressure, I mean pressure to, if you pressure to keep your job, I think Fickell's is more pressure to keep the job. Riley more pressure to
turn down that
performer.
extension.
Right. The 1 year thing, right? They always add a year.
They're going to add a year for him. I think basically the pressure is like he's got to win. But I think getting for Fick, if he gets to 8-4, I think that they'll be happy with that.
Okay.
Lincoln Riley, dude, you're at USC. And the resources they've allocated, number one, he had a $100 million deal.
Right.
Number two, they're spending money on players, and you're still not winning. And by the way, Fick, I think, is a lot closer to being 8-4 than USC is to being in the top 4 in the Big Ten.
Think about that one. Okay. That's probably, I think that's accurate.
If you're telling me in 2 years that
you've
got 12 teams in the playoff, and USC hadn't been sniffing that.
Right. So for Fick, the injuries they've suffered at quarterback.
That's the other thing. There's been some extenuating circumstances.
Right, I understand. But I'm asking about when.
Oh, USC has those too, Bob. They can't tackle.
That's also a point. Yeah, they're injured in the heart. But Bob, with Wisconsin, though, with Fickell and the injuries they've had, when you look at like having consecutive years of quarterbacks going down, I know we're in soft tissue injuries; they were major injuries, but like, is there anything you would change? You think like fitness wise, training wise, getting ready for the season to try to avoid? Like at Ohio State, I remember you said the issue with the soft tissue guys with the running backs, right? That was kind of a big deal for a couple years there.
Yeah.
But is there something that Wisconsin would look at differently than like, hey, I don't know if it's in the schedule, the way how hard you go during practices before and during the season? Like, I don't know if that matters or not, or is it just luck?
I think some of it is the analytics of like your body. They can measure all this stuff now more than ever before, and maybe they weren't doing that to the degree that they would have liked. And that was part of the thing with Fick was that we got to invest more in our players and in our program,
right?
To make sure we know and understand that how we're getting the most out of them. Now, some of those things, the ACLs and stuff like that happen, there is some biomechanical elements to it, and some of it's just bad luck. So there is a little bit of that too. But some of that soft tissue stuff, like you need player maximization. Christian Allegro breaking his hand last year. Like, what are you going to say? Drink more milk? Like,
just protect your hand.
What's the solution?
Gloves.
Put his gear on.
Right, that's what you would do. What do you got next for us, Bo?
Some men's college basketball here, guys. Arguably the best sport in the job opened up this week as North Carolina fired Hubert Davis after 5 seasons in Chapel Hill for the former Tar Heel. And given that Carolina is expected to hire outside of the family for the first time in about 5 decades, the best coaches around the sport have already seen their names brought up for the job as possible candidates to replace Davis. But 2 coaches who just so happen to be coaching over the next couple of days here have already, we'll say, sort of dismissed the idea of taking over in Chapel Hill. TJ Otzelberger of Iowa State said that he is thrilled to be the head coach of the Cyclones and looks forward to future success in Ames, telling the media, quote, "As we move forward together, the alignment on our campus with our university president and athletic director is amazing, and we're thrilled and excited about our future together. There's no question about it. There's nothing to talk about. There's nothing else to answer. That's the truth." You want answers? Tommy Lloyd, though, at Arizona wasn't quite as dismissive.
A little more evasive?
Yeah, he said, "I already have one of the best jobs in the country. And one thing we talk about in our program all the time, and I think I've gotten better at it, and I think our team's been crushing it this year, is just the ability to have full focus and be present in the moment." So, Tito, safe to say Tommy Lloyd wasn't as strong in his comments there, but it'll be interesting to see where Carolina pivots with this because, like, it's Carolina, right? It's the bluest of blue bloods, but does that matter anymore?
See, I don't think it does.
We just saw Curt Cignetti turn down Penn State to stay at Indiana.
Saw Indiana, and we saw Nebraska in the Sweet 16.
That too, yeah. Like, it just, the sport is flipped upside on its head with name, image, and likeness in this era.
Okay. Look, I'm not naive enough, Bobby, to think about this. I'm not naive enough to believe that players weren't getting paid before they were legally getting paid. No. It happened. Okay. So it did happen. So there was sometimes that aspect of a reason why a kid might go to a certain school. Okay. But beyond that, it was the prestige. It was the blue blood thing. And it was look, come play for Dean Smith. This is North Carolina.
Yes.
And that
you see
argument,
the rafters,
right?
The banners up in the rafters,
right?
Jordan
played here, right?
Yes,
but I mean, like anymore though, the number one thing is money. I've got to believe, and so I don't look. I know you said North Carolina, and people say, "Oh, it's the bluest of blue bloods," like you said. That's fair, and it's maybe the best job might be, but you're not going to get kids to go. You're not getting an 18-year-old kid to commit to Carolina just because Jordan played there or just because North Carolina used to be really, really good, the ACC. It's not going to be the case anymore.
First of all, the ACC, how many teams are in the Sweet 16?
You're right. There's one in there. I know. But I'm saying, like, Bob, it's not. So that's my whole point is that Carolina does not hold the same esteem as it did 20, 30, 40 years ago. And so it's not like all of a sudden just because you've got the great program that's been around for years and all these Sweet 16 appearances and blah, blah, blah. None of that matters to the kid who's 18. He wants to get paid.
Yeah. I think there's 2 parts of it. Well, 3. I think guys, getting paid is probably the 75 to 80% of the equation. Maybe 60 depending on the kid and what they're looking for. I think the other 2 components in this is B, are you going to go there and win? Mm-hmm. Losing stinks. And so going to a program that's not any good isn't any fun. Basketball, one guy can change that a lot, but are you playing around other elite players that you can win with, have a chance to chase a title? And then the second of the other 2 outside of cash, how are you going to get developed? Like, Are you going to have a chance to get better to be an NBA draft pick? And like, if you look at Duke, it's like they've been cranking out guys. You look at Carolina, and we brought it up. I mean, we're talking about Antoine Jameson and
Vince Carter, Rashid. Yep.
Like, those are the guys who are the all-stars.
Right.
I mean, Ohio State has had 4 all-stars since North Carolina produced one. 3. I just want you to think about that. And we sit here and complain and moan about everything else, and I'm not saying that there shouldn't be expectations, but I'm also saying that if you told me that North Carolina football has had all pros or pro bowlers more recently than Ohio State, and Ohio State hasn't produced one in like 30 years, you'd say that's crazy. And I would say that North Carolina football is on par with what you would define as Ohio State basketball, or North Carolina basketball is on par with Ohio State football.
Yeah.
So you said cash. Then what was the second one you said?
The other 2, winning and development.
Winning and development. Okay. Now, just curious, Bob. Whiskers. By the way, you said curious 3 times in the first segment yesterday. I didn't say whiskers once.
I'm allowed to be curious.
I can't be curious?
No, because that's your crutch. Because anytime you lead into a segment, that's what you always would say.
Okay. I'm Whiskers. Where does relationship connectivity with the coach fit into that?
That comes into development.
Okay, development. Okay, so
that's encompassed under that.
I'm only going to be here 8 months, Coach.
James Learn Ice, he was like Heartline. James Learn Ice. Like, if you feel like this coach can help develop you more than someone else can,
right,
you can get a discount on money. Now, not a big one.
Right.
But this isn't like blowout, end of store closing type sale.
Okay.
But it might be like, hey, it's a veteran's discount at Lowe's, 10%.
It's 5% now, Bob, and you can't get on major appliances also, which I'm not going to complain about.
Really?
Yeah, at 5%, because I tried to get it on the dishwasher, they didn't give it to me. But whatever, let's move on.
Where are we at?
That stinks. That's
it's
kind of
5%.
trashy.
On major appliances.
It used to be 10.
I know. I think
and
it's 5.
It used to be on everything in
store. It was like Lowe's and Home Depot both went to that, and it was no.
Do we need another war?
Yes. Right, that's what I'm saying now. Okay, so Bob, though, and the reason I say this is because you think about Bynum for Ohio State.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Maybe money's most important. That's fine. And then winning, and then development. So,
well, I will say though, I think Bynum, and he was a highly rated recruit, but I don't know that he was ever thought to be a one and done. The way that like Carolina's probably shooting for.
Right.
So, I think if you're Carolina, like I don't know. And Bob, you used the James Laurinaitis example. I would guess relationships probably matter in football more though, because you have to be there for 3 years. You have to go play somewhere for 3 years. You have to be 3 different schools in 3 different years, but you have to be at high school for 3 years. Where basketball, I don't think Cooper Flagg or Cameron Boozer don't like John Shire,
right?
But it's like worst case scenario. It's like
it doesn't hurt when
the NBA.
It also doesn't hurt when your dad went there.
That
also is a little different. Like Boozer knowing Shire, like that's where some of those personal relationships come in though, and come into play.
So we'll be keeping an eye on that, obviously, with Ohio State as we get ready for the next season. For that.
Do you need a bank that truly values local business in this town and the opportunity to work alongside them as partners, whether you're a small business or a large operation? Riverside Bank of Dublin has the right tools for the job. Riverside Bank of Dublin has the experience of working right here in Central Ohio. They understand the business climate in the area, and they'll help you reach your goals. So whether it's an SBA loan to get your business off the ground, a line of credit to keep your business running smoothly, or equipment financing to get your business up to scale, Riverside Bank will tailor a solution that fits your needs. Visit them at riverside.bank or stop in to get to know them at 6300 France Road. Riverside Bank of Dublin, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Coming up next, folks, Albert Breer joins us. Morning Juice.
I always tell people I was the luckiest guy in the world. I wanted to be an Army man or a fireman, and I got to do both. As a firefighter, my job was about saving lives. I never thought one day I would be fighting for mine.
After spending his career answering the call to save others, Ken was diagnosed with ALS. Now he's facing his biggest battle, for more time. For 70 years, Muscular Dystrophy Association has been answering the call to help people live longer and more independent lives.
MDA means to me hope.
MDA is leading the way for people living with ALS, muscular dystrophy, and other neuromuscular diseases by accelerating research, advancing care, and advocating to empower families like Ken's.
I wouldn't be living as good of a life with ALS if it wasn't for MDA. MDA is helping people live stronger and love longer. Learn more at mda.org today.
It's been a real journey since 2014 when I first had my injury. I realized that my home was just not working for me and that it was time to ask for help. Homes for Our Troops is really giving me my life back. The shower allows me to go in and turn around with my chair, pull down storage racks, automated door systems, hours of my morning given back to me. Adaptive sports are a huge part of my life, a huge part of my healing journey as well. Homes for Our Troops helped with making sure that I had a home gym so that I can continue to train. This past year, I was able to host Thanksgiving in my home. And it was the first time I was able to have my whole family in one place and I was able to contribute to the meal. There are a lot more veterans in need and Homes for Our Troops is going to be there to help them too.
Homes for Our Troops builds and donates specially adapted custom homes nationwide for severely injured post 9/11 veterans and enables them to rebuild their lives. Join our mission at hfotusa.org.
Hey guys, 13-year NFL veteran and Super Bowl champion Jason McCourty here, and I'm an innovation ambassador at FAIR, Food Allergy and Research Education. I would say the most challenging thing as a parent of a kid who has a food allergy is probably the ignorance that I myself had in the beginning. I didn't know what anaphylactic shock was. I didn't know the dangers, let alone the things that she needed to be able to have a normal life. When you go to drop your kid off, and every single time in the beginning, we'd have to go through everything she was allergic to. Preparation is everything. And me, for playing football for 13 years, it was all throughout the course of the week. It's getting ready for game day. When you're on the field, you're playing for your fans. At home, you're playing for your family. My playbook, read labels, keep it allergy friendly, and have an epinephrine nasal spray as a backup plan. Because when my family's safe from food allergens, that's the real victory. Visit foodallergy.org to learn more.
Proud to be your go-to sports addiction.
WBNS, WBNS FM, HD3 Columbus.
The Fan 3, Ohio sports destination. Attack and dominate. You're locked into Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
Morning Juice. Bobby, Tito, Bodie. Got a jam-packed final hour here, folks. Albert Breer is going to join us shortly, Bob.
I think momentarily is the term.
Momentarily is the term. There we go. Can't wait for that. Love to hear what Albert Breer has to say about what's going on in the NFL. It's a year-round sport, so I'm excited about that. Also, Ya Highness will join us at around the 7:35 point. We'll find out what happened in Vegas. If it actually does stay in Vegas, maybe it does. I don't know. And get his take on the Sweet 16 and whatnot. Bob, did you see what the NFL announced yesterday regarding the Week 1 schedule?
I did not.
Okay. The Seahawks, defending NFL champion.
They always open the
season.
Defending champ always opens the season.
When do they usually open?
Thursday night.
Wednesday this year.
Even better.
They're going to open Wednesday.
Why wait till Thursday?
Because Thursday they're going to do the Rams 49ers game from Australia.
Even better.
And I believe if I got the times right on that one, it'll be like, the typical 8:30 start here in the States where we are the regular people. But for the other people out in Australia, I think it's like a 10:35 a.m. kick. Something ridiculous.
Perfect.
So
I love it. It's like a little league soccer game.
You're right. That's exactly what it is,
Wednesday.
Bob.
On a Wednesday morning.
They're not going to have a stadium. People are coming in the folding chairs and just kind of set up out there.
Yeah, it's on a random field.
Yes, that's what they're going to do there. But Rams 49ers and that so they're going to up on a Wednesday this year for the Seahawks. Which,
if it gets dark, we'll just pull the cars up, flip
the lights on, exactly. Yeah. And then orange slices for everybody after the game, maybe. When do we stop doing the snacks after the games, Bob? What age?
Oh, second grade.
No, wait, we did it last year for flag football in third grade, though. People brought snacks.
I don't think that was coach endorsed.
Okay, so you're saying you think second grade is probably the...
Like when the coach is like, hey... I'm not going to be, you want to bring whatever, but this isn't like we need a snack train after.
Right. So if a parent.
Speaking of trains.
Yeah.
Right. If say hi to your grandmother for me. Bobby, if a non-coach affiliated parent starts it, then it happens.
If you want to bring it, I don't have a problem with that. But people acting as if it's the greatest travesty in the world because the kids didn't have snacks because they become Pavlov's dog after the game of where's my bottle of Gatorade or Squeeze It or whatever the pack, not the Pac Sun, the
Capri Sun?
Capri Sun, and then we need our bag of chips or whatever cookie or whatever
sunflower
the hell they got.
seeds.
Oh, they ain't
do sunflower seeds. Those are too difficult. No, those are too hard.
Oh, it's like a glorified dessert.
Yeah, it's what it is. It's going to be. And the other thing too, then that hits you, and Bob, I don't know. Your kids are far enough apart. I don't know if this ever happened for you.
Oh, the kids run over and they want to get the other kids.
The siblings, yes, it's a siblings thing. Like
the
Charlotte's a couple years.
The younger ones, I'd always say, if there's some of the parents hey, I don't want to take this back home. Just empty the cooler, empty the bag.
Yeah.
So
grab two.
It's all out of here. Make sure the kid. No, usually if you have. By the way, it's there might be 8 kids on the team. What are you supposed to? I'm going to count out 8 Gatorades. If
8
they
hot
come
dogs
in
and 10
2
hot dog
packs
buns.
of 6. Hey, here's the 2, 6. There's 12 in there. Just. Somebody get the other 4. I'm not carrying them back home. So there's always that with it. But, yeah, I would say 8 years old is when I feel confident saying that should probably be done.
I would think so. That's a good point, Bob. I was trying to think about that, when it would be the cutoff there. Bodie, how long did you play competitive sports growing up?
Middle of high school.
Middle of high school. So do you remember when snacks stopped being a thing?
I would say I honestly don't remember, so I'm guessing.
See, when
I was
growing
pretty
up,
young.
I was so damn young. I'm older.
We didn't do a ton of snacks.
I don't remember ever doing snacks.
I don't remember doing it a ton
I think this
either,
might
honestly.
be like a last decade creation.
Is this part of the participation trophy era?
Yeah, well, they've been doing that for a while, but yeah, I think this spawned from the participation trophy era.
All right. This guy never gets a participation trophy. All he does is get awards. He is Albert Breer joining us now. Albert, thank you for joining us. MMQB's Albert Breer. Is there any truth to the rumor the NFL is trying to find a way to add 8 days into a week to play football more often?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the way we're going, right? So Wednesday, Thursday, which you guys know the reason for that, right, is that because of the Sports Broadcasting Act of 1960-something, they can't play games on Friday or Saturday from the second Friday in September through whatever it is, I think through the Army-Navy game. And so they the last couple of years, because Labor Day was earlier in the calendar, were able to play on that first Friday in September, but because Labor Day is now later in the calendar, they can't do it this year the way they did the last 2 years with the Brazil game. So now they just move it to Wednesday, which we'll all bitch and moan about and then tune in. So,
right. Yeah.
But I do think it's sort of indicative of where all of this is going, which is that they're just trying to create more broadcast windows, and as a result, create more inventory to take to the markets to sell when the TV deals come up, here in the next couple of years.
Like I was looking at that, despite the fact that the NFL, the broadcasting rights are basically 2 and 3 times other professional leagues, their cost of customer acquisition, if you will, or viewer is significantly less just due to the massive amount of viewership that it gets. And so, like, people talk, I mean, these deals, we were talking $1 billion a year for one game a week for some of these deals. I mean, is there a limit on where they're going to be able to push this?
Yeah. I don't, it's actually interesting. Did you guys see what Brian Rowlap, the CEO of the PGA Tour, said? Now, he was sort of Roger Goodell's top lieutenant, but he actually voiced some concern, and now he runs golf, so he voiced some concern that, like, when the NFL is done with their next broadcast deals,
no money, it
might be difficult for anybody else because there's just not going to be much money left, and the NFL is like the one product that really creates live event television anymore, and the value of that to advertisers is really hard to calculate because there are very few things. I mean, just think about the way that you guys consume content, right? Like, if there's a show I want to watch on TV, I'll generally DVR it and then I'll fast forward through the commercials, which I think is what everybody does, right? If you're, and I hate to say it because I do have a podcast, but what do I do on the commercials when I listen to a podcast? I fast forward through them. You know what I mean? Like, so how many products are there out there where an advertiser knows, they're the people watching are probably going to see my commercials. It's football and what else? It's live sports in general, I would say, but it's football just as far as, where you have a really reliable audience week after week. So, as things have gone to streaming, as technology has changed and we've been able to kind of avoid advertising here and there, the live sports rights, the value of them has shot through the roof. And, football is obviously on a different level from everybody else because of the numbers it generates.
Bob, I want you to walk down this path with me. I thought about this. Chuck Norris passed away. I think that Albert Breer.
I don't even mean that. I laugh because I know what a million different jokes.
Okay, I think Albert Breer.
All due respect to Chuck Norris, I didn't mean it that way.
I'm glad you said all due respect. That gets you off the hook, Albert. Albert Breer is the Chuck Norris of football reporters and football writers. And what I mean by that is, I think pro football, like the pro days, go to Albert Breer. Albert Breer doesn't go to them. Was there a pro day you wanted to go to this year that you didn't?
I actually like going to the pro days. If I had to go to one, I'm just trying to think which I would have gone to. I mean, it might have been See, the problem with the one yesterday in Columbus is that the guys did really well at the combine. So they're really, I mean, for my purposes, it would have been good to be there because there were a ton of NFL teams there. But just from this is a pivotal moment for any of the, I don't think it was a pivotal day for any of those guys, was it, Bobby? No. I mean, well, for the guys down the line, yes. But it's just as far as like the big names, like, I don't view yesterday as a pivotal day for Sonny Styles or for Caleb Downs or for even like a Lorenzo Styles, who's not going to be a first round pick. Like, there are guys, further down the line. Like it's probably more important for a Davis Igbinosun or someone like that. Like Bama would have been interesting yesterday just because of all the buzz around Ty Simpson now, just to see that. There really isn't one. I mean, I've been to a few where I think that there was legitimate buzz and it was worthwhile, right? Like Johnny Manziel's pro day because of all the questions swirling around him. I was there. Actually, believe it or not, the older George Bush was at that one, which was something else. So that one, I mean, like Johnny Manziel would be one. Sam Darnold, I don't know if you guys remember this. He threw in the rain in Los Angeles. Yeah. And that was considered a very big deal because there was heated competition to be the first overall pick there between him and Baker Mayfield and Josh Allen. I'd say the quarterback ones are generally the bigger ones, but I mean, for my purposes, I like going just because, the bigger ones, the ones like Ohio State yesterday, where you've got a lot of top prospects, like there are decision makers, like not just NFL scouts, but NFL decision makers are there.
So I talked to one NFL decision maker yesterday, and you might be able to parcel this out, but they've got a fairly high draft pick, and he was saying I like your four guys at our position. I'd take any one of them if they're sitting there. I mean, do you think any of the top four Buckeyes slide past, let's just say 12?
So Caleb Downs, no. I would say Reese, no way. Like, I think Reese has got the highest floor, probably. I think you'd agree with that, right, Bobby? Just because of his position. I'd say Reese, I don't think Reese makes it out of the top 5. I don't think Downs makes it out of the top 10. I mean, Carnell Tate, I think, goes in the bottom half of the top 10. And, Sonny, I think, could go as high as 5. But he might have, the biggest variance just because of the way people look at that position, And whereas, Reese is, I think a lot of people project him to be an edge rusher down the line the same way, like a Micah Parsons or an Abdul Carter or a Jihad Campbell last year coming out of Alabama, Jalen Walker coming out of Georgia. A lot of times, you got these guys now that are hybrids where, people will project them and say well, his value as an NFL player is going to be an edge rusher. So that's what we see him down the line. Sonny's a little bit more of I'd say a traditional off-ball linebacker, the way teams look at him anyway. So I'd say he probably has the biggest variance. It wouldn't surprise me if he went 5th to the Giants. I think it's not totally out of the realm of possibility he slips a little bit too, just because there are teams that flat out won't take that position that high in the draft.
MMQB's Albert Breer joins us here on Morning Juice. There's been a lot of talk this week about Ty Simpson. Dan Orlovsky, who shares the same representation, CAA, as Ty Simpson does, has come out and said he thinks Orlovsky said this Ty Simpson is a better quarterback prospect than Mendoza. It's a sticky thing because of the fact that you've got a guy who's represented by the same agency. He's kind of promoting him a little bit, but it's also could be factually correct that that's really what Orlovsky thinks. How often do you hear things from agents or from analysts that may have the same representative? How do you parcel that out?
I mean, I've had over the course of my career 2 agents, and both have one of them actually directly represented football players, and the other is part of a big company that he doesn't represent football players, but his company does. I've never had anybody tap me on the shoulder and tell me to say anything about a player. So like I think Dan, I heard Dan say it, like CAA is a massive company, guys. You know what I mean? Like CAA is like, I tend to think that like the Hollywood division has nothing to do with the broadcast division, has nothing to do with the football representation. Now, can it help in certain ways? Yeah, but I don't think like in this particular situation, they're tapping Dan Orlovsky on the shoulder and telling him like, hey, you need to, push so-and-so. Now, is it possible that, socially they might've been at an event together and that could color someone's opinion? I mean, that's possible, I guess, but I don't think that there's any like horse trading going on here. I personally don't anyway. Now I haven't heard what Dan has heard, right? Like, and I still admittedly have dozens of phone calls to make over the next few weeks. And my opinion on this could change, but it seems to me like Fernando Mendoza is pretty clear cut as the number one guy at that position in this year's class. But, I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion, and Dan certainly knows a whole lot more about quarterbacking than I do or ever will, So, my opinions on these things are based on, the people I talk to and my connections in the sport. And right now, at least feels to me like Fernando Mendoza is a pretty clear-cut number one.
Anything else surrounding the draft, Albert, when you start looking at this, that is a story that you think is percolating over the next month that could, be something that's an issue for somebody or some team?
I mean, I think certainly there's like, the character stuff everybody's going to dig into and everybody's going to go crazy over. And there's going to be some of that stuff that's going to come out on some of the players. There's a couple of really thorny ones that I think will pop up in the next 2, 3, 4 weeks.
Let me ask you
beyond that,
when you have a situation like what happened with Falcons D end Super Bowl night,
James Pierce.
James Pierce. When you have that happen, something that's that public, will there be owners or ownership groups that step in and be like, hey, I know that maybe he was on our board last year. We thought about taking him. We passed. Like, we're passing on those guys again this year.
Yes. Yeah. I think look, like, and that's part of it, Bobby, is that like, I think it's one thing if that sort of thing comes out of nowhere, you know what I mean? Like, and it's like, oh, nobody knew, you know what I mean? I think I think the best example I can think of something like that is one that you're really familiar with too, which was I covered a very colorful Cowboys team, and Bobby was on a very powerful, colorful Cowboys team. And maybe the guy who was the most straight-laced, God-fearing guy on the team was a guy named Sam Hurd.
Oh, no. Come on. I know.
Bobby, isn't it true, though? No one saw that one coming.
Dude, I went and spoke at his wife was an elementary school teacher in Irving, and we went there and spoke together to the kids, like beforehand, like the year before, like the summer before he left. It's like, I'm in Detroit and that story broke. And like, dude, what's up with your boy? And I'm like, I don't even know what to say. Like, it would have been like completely out of left field. I mean, not on the same level.
I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding when I say that locker room had Terrell Owens here, Pac-Man Jones there,
Tank Johnson
there, and Sam Hurd was like the most straight left.
I mean, you laugh about it, but I'm like, I told people, I go, it would have been the equivalent of like, not quite Tim Tebow, but like on that plane of like human of what you think the guy is that's actually slinging, not just like got arrested with a little weed in his car, but bought a
international drug dealer.
Yeah, brought a brick of cocaine into Ruth Chris in Chicago and sold it to a federal agent after practice. And they had it on wire. Like they had it all right there.
When I heard that, I was like, what, Sam Hurd? It was like, oh my God. Anyway, I bring that one up because, like, there are those that come out of nowhere. But, when you take a risk, like Aaron Hernandez was this, right? Aaron Hernandez was off a bunch of teams' boards, right? And when you take that risk and then that winds up being the result, then if you're that team, obviously, like, I don't think Atlanta can take nearly as many, even though it's different people now in charge. Like, I think Atlanta has to avoid anybody who's got, that sort of mark up on the board or is off the board altogether. And then I think for other teams, it certainly exists too. And, it's interesting because this always becomes a hot button thing this time of year. It's like, and fans don't want to hear it, right? Like, fans don't, like, they see the prospect. They're like, oh my God, you got to do it, and then they forget that, like, we all, like a lot of people saw this coming, and so James Pierce is certainly, an example of that, Bobby, like, no question, where that character question was absolutely positively there. And the fact that, like, this happened this soon after that is, certainly, like, I think a warning sign to most people. And I think back, Troy Brown was a guy I did TV with for a bunch of years, like one of the best guys that I've covered. I covered him as a player. He was on the first iteration of the Patriot dynasty. And Troy had this saying he would use on TV, and he would say, money only makes you more of what you already are.
Yeah.
And I thought there was great wisdom in that it's basically saying, like, whoever the guy is coming out of college, chances are handing him millions of dollars is not going to make him a better human being than he already was, And so maybe you can change somebody and people can improve and all of that, but it's usually not a great bet to say, okay, I'm going to bet that I can change this person when he's coming into an environment where he's going to become a lot wealthier, have better resources, and have more freedom.
Albert, I will play the no offense card here on this one. I think you know more about quarterback than Orlovsky. You know not to run out of the back of the end zone and take the safety. So I'll give you the hint on the tip of the cap on that one. As far as the quarterback situation goes in the NFL, Aaron Rodgers is not committed to anything yet. Kirk Cousins, Anthony Richardson, Russell Wilson. Out of those guys, who's the next one to have an announcement about being on a team?
I mean, it feels like Aaron's the big domino now. I think Aaron Rodgers and Kirk Cousins are sort of the next two pivotal pieces. I think you could make the argument there are two open quarterback jobs right now. Three, if you include Vegas. Those three, if you include Vegas, it's Vegas, Arizona, Pittsburgh. My sense is, like, so if you look at like Aaron and Kirk, like, I think with Kirk, it's one of three options. It's either I can go be a starter somewhere now. And those options are obviously, they are what they are right now. I can go be a backup on a team that's going to go compete for a championship, or I can wait and see if there's an injury somewhere 2 or 3 months from now. And so, if you look at the options that are out there right now, the best option clearly to go and start somewhere is in Pittsburgh. So if Kirk Cousins is waiting to see what happens with that potential option in Pittsburgh, then he's waiting on Aaron Rodgers. And so once Aaron makes his decision, then I think probably we get some clarity on Kirk Cousins, and then maybe some of the other dominoes start to fall. And, I think for all of these guys, there's the option there too, which, I mentioned is option number 3 for Kirk, which is, you just sit and wait and see if there's an injury somewhere, 2 or 3 months down the line that creates an opportunity somewhere else. But I think we're sort of where we were last year, when it comes to all of this, here at the end of March, beginning of April, which is waiting on a decision on a decision from Aaron Rodgers and seeing if he's going to go back to Pittsburgh or not.
Albert, we appreciate the time. If you have any stories about Bobby during that time with the Cowboys that you've not yet shared, we'll do it on a week when he's not here so we can get the dirt on it.
I definitely didn't come on here intending to talk about Sam Hurd.
Okay. That's okay.
It's always my best example of, like, one that came completely out of left field. It was, like I said, that locker room was an interesting place, and you had some scary individuals in that locker room too. I no offense, Bobby, the guy I would not have messed with of all of them, right?
Oh, Jay Ratliff. Yeah, bro. They had to escort him out when they cut him. Jerry had security brought in.
So that was a badass locker room. And Sam Hurd was like the quiet, soft-spoken, God-fearing international drug dealer.
Okay. Now, I lied when I said get you out of here. So I want to ask you this now. How old were you when you were in there, in the room? How far along in your career
26.
were you?
27.
Yeah.
Okay. 27. I was 27.
Was that
I was
difficult for you? Intimidating for you?
No, I had like I actually, so I had been in the New, like it was interesting because I had come from New England where covering the Patriots, and they were that was a veteran locker room. So Vrabel was in there, Rodney was in there, Brewski was in there, and like it was a very much like those guys all had the ability to show their personalities and work around Bill's rules, but it was like a really buttoned up place, and then going to Dallas, it was kind of the Wild West, like where anybody could talk at any time. People could say things and you'd have to chase them down. And so it was an interesting environment. Like there were a lot of good guys in that locker room too, though. Like I would say that, like it was, between, guys like Bobby and Kevin Burnett, and like there were I like Brady James. Brady could be a little up and down, but Brady was generally a good guy. Who was the center? Andre Girard. Andre Girard was a really good guy. Yeah, so there were a lot of it was interesting because I think Bobby would attest to this. Like I think when you were a rookie and like your second year, which is before I got there, or no. I got there your second year. You were a rookie in 06, right?
Yeah.
Like when Bobby was a rookie, that was that was Parcells last year. And I think Parcells had a lot of like high character guys. Like DeMarcus Ware was an incredibly high character guy, right? Yeah. Like they had Greg Ellis was a really good guy. Like they had like a lot of good guys. And then I think once Parcells left, you had this really talented, high character team, and then taking risks, And so Tito was the beginning of it. 2X of, I hope I'm characterizing this the right way, Bobby. But like a lot of like really good guys that Parcells had brought in to build the right room, and then piled on top of it, you had a ton of guys that I think rise as character risks, and it's a really, really, really interesting mix. Like the guys in that locker room, the guys like him. Awesome guy. Like there were like a lot of like guys that were really high character guys in that locker room, but you had a lot of colorful guys in there too.
The fact you were not intimidated at that age, and I was 31 years old, I was intimidated by a Newark Catholic girls basketball coach, speaks volumes to where you're at, Albert. Thank you so much. We appreciate the time. We'll talk again next week.
I'll tell you what too.
Yes.
Because I like white suburban boy in the Cowboys locker room. Kevin Burnett used to refer to me as Eli, like because he's like you're like Eli man. He said you're like Eli Manning in here. So
all right,
he used to call me Eli. Yeah,
we'll talk to you next week, Eli. Thanks for the time.
All right, guys.
That was Albert Breer from MMQB. Love that conversation every week. Love how it goes. It's funny, Bob. We talked about Sam Hurd recently.
Yeah,
right. Like organically came up, and then somehow he brings it up as well, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Coming up next, college football. You might have to wait as long as you normally do. We'll talk about that next. Morning Juice.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have zero-turn skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family-owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons located in Mount Sterling and Marysville, or online at greenandsons.com for all your Kubota needs.
Ms. Fernandez, what are those tiny things?
Those are what we call amoebas. You can only see them through a microscope.
Wow.
Today's students are tomorrow's great thinkers and innovators. But right now, there's a funding crisis in public schools. Millions of kids go to schools that don't have funding for books, computers, and so much more just because of where they live. You can help change that. Donor Shoes is a nonprofit that lets you support students and teachers in your community and beyond. You choose which supplies to support. You could provide first graders with pencils and paper, or other students with their first chapter books, help a music class get a guitar,
You could even supply a classroom like mine with a science project. But what you're really giving is the moment that sparks a brighter tomorrow.
To learn more, please visit donorschoose.org. That's donorschoose.org. Choose students. Shape the future.
Hey, Max, you look absolutely dashing in that purple tie. Ready to harness the world?
You bet, Daisy. I'm ready as I'll ever be. And might I say, your purple tie really pops with your vest.
Thanks. I almost went with a cape, but didn't want to come across as pretentious.
Nonsense. Anyone in our line of work should rock a cape.
You might be onto something, Max.
Phew, so here we go. First day on the job. We've got this, right?
Right. Don't forget, we both graduated from Dogs Inc. with honors.
Which means I can guide my human around a busy city with ease.
And I can give my human a restful night.
I hope my human is kind and loving.
And I hope mine likes wet kisses and zoomies.
Ready to make a difference?
Born ready. Let's go.
Discover how extraordinary dogs like Daisy and Max change lives at no cost to the recipients. Visit dogsinc.org.
How's Tommy doing now?
Much better.
You said it was asthma?
Yeah, he started with this cough and then he was wheezing.
That's terrifying.
Doctor said hidden triggers can make it worse. Things like dust, mold, and even pests.
Pests?
Yeah, droppings and allergens from cockroaches and rodents can seriously impact children with asthma or allergies.
I had no idea.
We're making sure our home stays pest-free.
Don't let pests put your family's health at risk. Visit pestworld.org to learn more. A public service message from the National Pest Management Association.
Attack and dominate. You're locked into Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
Thank you to Albert Breer for joining us there. That was awesome. The Sam Hurd discussion. Came out of nowhere there, Bob.
Anytime I can work some Sam Hurd into my life.
Yes.
It's twice in 2026 already.
Yes.
That wasn't even on my New Year's resolution board.
Yeah, you're right. The bingo card's getting filled up if you
He's
have Sam
out of
Hurd.
prison now.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you talked to him? Is he your amigo too? I know you got one amigo. Is this your other amigo?
I like Sam. I told you I went and spoke at his wife's kid's school. Or his wife's, where she taught.
It's just drugs. He didn't kill anybody.
Right. Tell his wife I said hi. And now we are bringing on he's back from Vegas. He's alive. He's smiling. It is Ya Highness joining us here. Chad, WeWinYouWin.com. Good morning, Chad. Good morning, Ya Highness.
Good morning.
How was Vegas?
I'm not sure I could do the good morning. My voice is still, if you can tell, wrecked. I was yelling at TVs for 4 days straight. So let me see if I can hit the high pitch here. I'm probably going to butcher this. So, good morning, Columbus, Ohio, baby. We're ready to rock and roll. We got, Sweet 16. But real quick, because I know Albert Breer, he's got to keep it a little tight to the vest and polished. Let me come in as his muscle. Dan Orlowski, are you kidding me? This guy right here doesn't know what he's talking about. First of all, you're going to quarterback at UConn. You don't know what the quarterback in big college games is, but he's going to talk about the guy playing in the national champion, didn't play no big games. Get out of town, kid. And he's behind the eight ball because the SEC is the third best football conference now. And I got into a big thing in Vegas with a guy from Dallas who was a Texas Longhorn fan. We made a wager that an SEC a football team will not win a national championship in the rest of the 2020s. And we bet a plane ticket and a steak dinner. He's going to fly me out to Dallas and buy me a steak dinner if I'm right. And I'm going to fly him out to Phoenix and buy him a steak dinner if I'm wrong.
Wow.
So that was Vegas in a nutshell.
Did you make money?
On sports, yes.
Okay.
The blackjack and the roulettes and the craps table, not so much. But the sports paid for all that. So all good.
That's good. Where are you at on your 100 to 1 million now?
So I took a break while we were in
Yes.
Vegas. I started back up. We hit yesterday, question number 1. So sometime either today or tomorrow we'll be on to question number 2 for $150. So getting the motor going again, baby.
I wanted to ask you this because I know that you do a lot of fun side games and things with people that subscribe to your service, WeWinYouWin.com. Check them out there. But like different games like the Squares games you do and some of the Lotto stuff and the thing we're doing right now where you pick games for a certain amount of time, you get to draft teams, all these different things you do that are very fun for the community. Do you ever, when you get to be, and you will, bigger and bigger, will you ever get too big to stop doing those things?
It comes at right at time. I mean, and this year's March Madness with the lottery coming back from Vegas and getting all that done was a little time consuming. But as the community grows, there's always people that are willing to volunteer or help out. And that's kind of how people have kind of worked their way into the fold. So I'm assuming as we grow, there'll be more people that want to be more involved. And that's kind of how, like, for instance, the guy that does my producing for my shows, he was a paid member for a long time and said, "Hey, I have some experience doing, you need help?" And I said, "Most certainly. Trust me, I just want to be the pretty face on the camera and let everybody else do that. I need about 5 Brodies in my life. You know what I mean? I need about 5 Brodies in my life.
Don't take ours.
They should pick up my dry cleaning, take me to the airport, do all the unnecessary things. I just want to live the high life, if you know what I'm saying."
There we go. I think we do know what you're saying. We've got games tonight, games tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday. It's the Sweet 16. Any little nuggets and tips you threw at us? I believe I was sitting there watching Michigan not cover any of the spreads in the Big Ten Championship when you said number 1 seeds only cover their number. I think you said less than 40% of the time or whatever it was. And that was my Ya Highness nugget leading into that week for some of the things. What do we have for the Sweet 16 here?
Yeah, it gets real chalky the rest of the tournament. So historically speaking, number 1 seeds win this round about 70% of the time, and the favorite wins about 65 to 75% of the time. Look for some unders. The Bama Michigan game, I think that line's a little too high. I think maybe an under in that game, and then the Arkansas Arizona game, I think the line. I'm not saying these games won't score points. There'll be points in these games, but the lines are like 168, 170, and I'm just not sure that those games will get that high. So those are 2 unders that I would look at. I think we're looking at pretty much chalk. The 2 surprises I have is Illinois beating Houston and Michigan State beating UConn. Everything else would pretty much go according to plan. I think the Iowa-Nebraska game is a little bit of a coin flip, but we're guaranteed, obviously, to get a Big Ten team out of that. But I think this is the awakening for the American people that the Big Ten is not only the best conference in football, but the Big Ten is the best conference in basketball as well. I could see Purdue making it, Michigan State, obviously the winner of Iowa, Nebraska. We're going to have an Elite 8 that could have, 5 Big Ten teams in it? Very well possible. So welcome to new college sports. Big Ten rules the world, folks.
I know you make a lot of money on your hockey knowledge. You do very well there.
Oh, yes.
And then college basketball also. Baseball starts up. Is baseball something you dip your toe in very often? Do you have, and if so, do you have any specific trends or strategies you have in betting baseball is just not worth it?
So, yes, I do bet baseball, but here's so hockey's my number 1 sport of all the sports I bet regularly, and that's not even close. Baseball is probably 4th. And so what I tell people is when you have sports worth 162 games, right, it's a lot of games, is lower your bet size. There's a lot more variance in baseball. So if you're betting, let's say, $100 on a football game, maybe you should only be betting $40 or $50 on a baseball game. You're betting $100 on a hockey or basketball game, maybe only $40 or $50 on baseball, especially early on in the season, this first month or 2, ease into it. But as far as what I bet is all kind of what you guys probably at home think are exotics. So first run innings, yes or no. That's the crack bet. That's that high octane. We got 6 outs, or we got to score that run.
Yeah,
and
buddy.
I like to do a lot of pitcher props, right? So I like where there's a lot of or not a lot of variables, I should say. So as many variables I can remove, the better, which is why I like first innings. I know exactly the first 4 batters in the lineup. I know the starting pitcher, and I know who's umpiring. And then for pitcher props, it's real simple. I know who's umpiring. Now, this is what I don't know. With the new ABS system and affecting strikes and ball calls, I'm still curious to see how this plays out on the K props. But, yeah, so we'll be focusing on strikeouts for pitchers, and then first run innings, which is really where I do best in baseball, is that first run inning.
I had someone reach out to me and ask me, how many bets do you think Ya Highness places on average per day?
Well, that varies on the slate. Roughly for 2025, I did a little over 2,000 bets. And I think it works out to being about 5 bets a day on average. But again, yesterday I bet 3. But today or tomorrow, especially with the NCAA games going on, that could be much more. Usually it's the Saturdays and Sundays during football season where you have such these huge slates that we're betting sometimes 15 or 20 games. So, yeah, it's quite a bit. I'm not one of these guys. So let me back up. There's two different ways to skin this cat. There's some guys that come in and bet big on one game, and then they just try to be really right on that one game, and they put a large amount of money. Brody's laughing because last time he skinned a cat, the girl kicked him out afterwards. But I knew Bobby would love that one. And Tito's lost it. So what I do is I look for an advantage or an edge or a plus EV, which basically, if you're thinking of as flipping a coin, most people betting the house has the advantage. They have the work and juice. I do it the other way and flip the advantage back on the casino or the book. And so what I try to do is get off as many bets, maybe not for as much money, but over the long haul, I'm making 8, 10, 12% of my money each month. And so it's a little bit more work and a lot more effort, but it's a lot more consistent. I'm not living and dying on one game. I have maybe 20 games and I can go 12-8, but I'm turning an 8% return on investment. So that's all I really focus on is how much money am I risking and how much money am I getting on my return.
So WeWinYouWin.com is where you can go. Check them out there. You can subscribe to the service at Shut Up and Bet, the social media, NSFW, but absolutely check it out. It's great videos. Tell us more about how people can subscribe to you and the community and what they get out of it.
Yeah, I hate selling myself.
I know you do.
Go to WeWinYouWin.com. It's less than $50 a month. I tell this often, but I'll say it again. Last time I checked, and this was before we went to Vegas, we were up over 300 units, which just simply means if you're a $100 bettor, you made over 30 grand with this year. If I scale that all the way down to a $10 bettor, that's $3 grand. You're not going to pay me in total throughout the whole year $600. I make sure you pay me less than $600 a year. That means even you small-time bettors can still turn a profit, but it comes down to discipline, and you've got to follow the system. I lay out a 5-page playbook exactly how to go about sports betting, everything from bankroll management to where to bet to how to shop the lines, everything you want, everything I do. And so I try to make it as easy as possible. Some people think it's a little too complicated, but step into my mind and you'll understand.
We still tracking for you being here National Championship Day, correct?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Can we get a location? I like to get the people of the Columbus area together.
Yes.
All right,
okay.
Talk to me.
I think I've got one. I got to make sure, but it's a place that I think that the name of it is perfect for you. Let's put it that way. I'm not going to reveal it just yet. I got to do a little more legwork on it, but I think it'll be perfect, and we'll get the people out there. Look, I know the game starts after 9. You know me, I'm up the next morning not Ya Highness early, but I'm up early. I can't stay for the whole game, but I can get there a couple hours early. We can hang out, and then I can leave like at halftime.
Whatever. Anybody in the Columbus area, I'll be there from first tip to the end of the game, and I'll still be up in time to be there on the show, and I'll be there for as long as you want. You want me to show up for the whole show, half the show, part of the show? I don't care. I'll be there. I won't be square, but I'll be there. But, yeah, I hope it's a Duke-Michigan final, because I have futures on both, and that means we're making money. So I hope that's what we have there on that Monday. But was it April 6th or 7th?
April 6th, the day after Easter, which is perfect. You rise for us from Easter,
Mark that in your calendars. Yeah, mark that in your calendar, folks. I'd like to see all your bright and beautiful faces there in Columbus watching the national championship game at some undisclosed location. That
you're gonna like it. It's not. Yeah, when I say you like it, it is.
Is it an adult?
No, that's right. I started to say that.
Okay,
I do. It's not that. At least not right now. It's not. Who knows by the time we get there? Advice for Bobby
today? Is it
today?
the casino?
No, it's not the casino.
Is it? Okay. All right. Anyways, yeah, my voice for Bobby is. I'm waiting for him to pay attention.
I'm listening. My advice for Bobby is,
hey, Bobby.
Here's what's amazing.
Hey.
Here's what's amazing. I can do multiple things at one time.
You're a better man than I, but I had to take me a while to admit that there. Bobby, I normally tell you to jump on the right foot and do the wrong thing. I'm going to give you a little another one. This little drinking speech I've been working on. I'm probably going to butcher it, but time is not a waste. Don't waste your time. Let's not waste any more time and let's get wasted. Something like that. I'm still working on it, but there's a cheers in there that I was working on for Vegas. But yeah, well, it needs some more work in progress. That's for sure. Until next time.
Yes.
Brody. Maybe it's time for you to jump on the right foot with the wrong thing. All right, I'm out. I got to go to
Tell your
bed.
grandma I said hi, Chad.
Yeah,
there you go.
You know what? At 94 years old, she's doing quite well. But I'll tell her I said hello. I'll have her. You know what? I'm gonna do this real quick. Have you guys ever had Buckeyes, the dessert?
Come on.
Treat,
Yes.
Of course, yes.
Come on,
yes.
man.
I think I'm gonna bring some. I gotta bring a gift for you guys, and I know I can't travel with things I need to travel with. So I'm thinking maybe Marsh's Buckeyes. I can bring some Buckeyes or something like that. Anyways, I'll bring a warming gift for you guys.
There you
maybe
go.
my grandma can make something for you, Bobby. Some of her famous
There you go.
blueberry muffins.
I like that.
You're the man. Thanks so much. Chad at WeWinUnion.com. WeWinUnion.com is where to go to get it. Also, Shut Up and Bet is where you can find all of his YouTube content and his Brody, and I will tell you, it is well worth checking out. That's it for Ya Highness there. Coming up next, we'll wrap things up. Toad's got his juice. Morning juice.
Hey, Bobby Carpenter here with the Riverside Bank of Dublin Sports Money Report. In sports, winning isn't just about points on the board, it's about dollars off of it. From billion-dollar TV deals to player contracts worth more than entire franchises once were, today's games are run on smart financial strategy. And just like a championship team, success comes from planning, discipline, and long-term vision. That's the same approach your money deserves. Here's Chuck Moore, CEO, and Travis Sanders, president of Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Thanks, Bobby. Those core values are the foundation for any successful business. Because whether it's building a roster or building your future, strong fundamentals matter. At Riverside Bank of Dublin, we look at every deal and every opportunity with our core values in mind.
That's right, Chuck. It can take 2 years like it did in Bloomington, or 10, but sustainable success comes from fundamentals done right. Riverside Bank of Dublin, rooted in the community, focused on relationships, and committed to helping our clients win financially. Look for our new branch location in Bridge Park in Dublin.
Tune in every day for the Riverside Bank of Dublin Sports Money Report. Visit their office at 6300 France Road in Dublin or online at riverside.bank.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
My mom is a veteran and she was injured in the line of duty.
I hurt my leg in a training accident when she was only 2 years old.
She had 7 different surgeries over the span of 9 years, and there were tons of complications.
I couldn't be the mom my kids needed me to be.
She missed so much.
After my last surgery, I got an infection so bad I thought it was going to kill me.
I told her she couldn't leave me yet. There was still so much she had to see. I hadn't even graduated.
I'm doing much better now. I may have lost my leg, but I've gained so much. I'm an active part of my kids' lives.
She can kick a mean soccer ball.
DAV's been there for me and my family. Through thick and thin, they've had our back.
Every year, DAV helps more than 1 million veterans like Sandy get the health and disability benefits they've earned so they can achieve victories great and small.
My victory is getting my life back. I got my joy back.
We got our mom back, thanks to DAV.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
I slept in a lot of different rooms, different beds, but none of them really felt like mine. I spent 14 years in foster care, mostly in group homes. And I never had much stuff because I always had to be ready to move. Why get things if you just have to let them go?
There are more than 100,000 children in foster care waiting to be adopted. The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is working to help find them a forever family and a permanent home of their own.
Now I have my own room with walls that tell my story. I love hanging out in here. I play dress up with my sisters and I sing and make videos. But the best part, knowing I'll always have a place to go and a family that loves and supports me.
If you have room in your home or your heart, see how you can help at davethomasfoundation.org.
Bobby's knees hurt from doing battle with some of football's toughest warriors. Tito's knees hurt from begging Bobby to let him host this show.
Oh, pick me! Oh, I know, me!
This is Morning Juice.
Morning Juice. Mike's off there, Bodie?
Hopefully.
Thank you very much. Hope so, too. Could be our last show. Thank you, Your Highness, for joining us there. Always a treat.
Love that guy.
Yes. Monday, April 6th, the national championship game. I will be out with him. Bobby's going to make an appearance, right, Bob?
We'll see where we're going to go. I might be able to. What day is that?
It's a Monday.
Next Monday?
It's a week from.
Not this coming Monday.
Right,
next
the one
Monday.
after that, yeah.
We'll see.
See how many people show up there. So that's hard. The hard thing, Bob, is like I've got a place in mind, and I want to say to them, hey, look, We might have 5. We might have 30 people. I'm not
500.
sure. Can you plan for us? Like, that's the part that's hard because there's a lot of people. The
Columbus
community's been
bursting at the seams. I mean,
right. And so I think, Bob, that's why I'm asking
better
you constantly.
Better to undersell than overdo.
I think that's why because I know that your presence will increase the number.
Schlegs always tells you my presence is a present.
That's also true, yes. So we'll have to work on that, but I'm going to try to finalize that so I can announce it for people. And again, this is not fan affiliated. Okay, so I want them to think it's not going to be like some big fan banner out there, and it's not going to be something where we're broadcasting. It's just, I'm telling you.
It's like when you DM Thitoff.
Yeah, exactly. This is an At That Happens gathering is what this is right here. That's what this is with Ya Highness and Bobby Carpenter and maybe Bodie. I don't know why Bodie wouldn't go either, but whatever. We'll get into that later on. All right, let's do What's Got You Juiced.
What's Got You Juiced?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. For all your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
It's Thursday for us. It's Friday for Brody. Brody, what Schlegs got to say?
Hold on.
Oh, man, my bad. I put a lot on your plate.
That's all right. Here we go.
I've been lifting heavy. I've been back to old school Schlegs, lifting heavy, feeding myself heavy doses of just pure, unadulterated, raw iron, which has been fantastic. I've been trying to do lunges every single day. That just sucks, period, dot.
I'll tell you, talking about lifting heavy, I was at the gym yesterday, and I saw some guy throw 3 plates on there. He walked over to somebody else. You give me a spot? Guy's like, sure. Need a lift off? No. Just boom, like 4 reps. Yeah. Just like it was. I'm like, buddy, you didn't need that spotter. Just throw that sucker up, no problem.
Just to make sure someone was watching.
Yeah. Hey, grab your phone real quick. Record this while you're at it. All right, Carpenter. You said 90% on Remember the Titans?
Yeah.
Threw the fan poll out just for the show, so you can't vote anymore. Final results. 95% yes. Have you seen Remember the Titans?
Dude, it's a family movie. It's a football.
60. Okay, that's pretty small, Bob. That's a small sample size.
They say if it's purely randomized, you only need 40. But obviously, well, I don't know if that is purely random, but
randomish.
If Bodie's seen it, who was barely alive when it happened, it's a Disney movie with Denzel Washington. It's a feel-good sports football movie.
Yeah.
Like,
it's got a lot in there.
I mean, it checks like all the boxes. Like, there's no time that it's inappropriate for a kid. It's entertaining for adults. You could sit down and watch it with Artie. He would like it.
I think he's already seen it. Shadow of Shoe said, I watched Remember the Titans for the first time a few weeks ago, only because I heard about so much on air. So there, we're changing lives.
And so then they watch it and they're probably like, I like that movie.
Movie's awesome.
I might watch it again.
I got to watch the second half of Bob. The first half was very entertaining.
That's my point, is somehow you fall asleep during a movie like that.
That's also, I can respect stopping shows and movies.
Yeah.
I do that a lot. Like, I'm like, man, I'm halfway through this episode or movie. I'm pretty tired, going to call it a night. But normally I'd circle back around to it pretty quickly, probably the next night.
Yeah, so we'll see how this turns out.
Yeah, like, man, it's all because that movie can't be that long either.
Oh, so probably hour 50 tops. It's not 2 hours. It's a Disney movie. It's not
113 minutes. So
so just under.
Hours. Yeah, I'm probably 2/3 of the way through then, Bob. There we go.
That's even more incentive.
Exactly.
Check it
out. Got you juiced.
What else has me juiced, guys, other than Remember the Titans? Friday for me, definitely juiced about being off tomorrow and getting a little bit of sleep there. I'll miss you guys. Don't worry. But
Pot it down during the...
I'll be back on Monday. So that has me juiced. What else I got for you guys?
You're going to watch a lot of Thrones on Friday?
I'm probably going to crank out some episodes. Yeah, definitely. It's what I did last Friday. Woke up, watched a couple episodes, sat on the couch, watched a bunch of basketball. It was just...
Well, you need to watch something else after to like get your mind back to normal
reality.
I couldn't sleep after I'd watched it. I'm like, I'm not sure what to do with all these thoughts that are in my head right now.
No kidding. What also has me juiced, the Boston Celtics beating Oklahoma City last night. Got off to a pretty terrible start and then just kind of rolled from there, especially in the second half. Jaylen Brown played well, and Tatum looked pretty good again, so that had me juiced last night. And juiced to watch the basketball games tonight and tomorrow night and all weekend, frankly. I know no Cinderella's left in the big dance, which is like kind of a bummer, but then you look at like tonight's slate and tomorrow night's slate, and you're like, that's some pretty good games. Like, I don't know. I like having one in there. I could use one VCU, St. Peter's,
Bigger Cinderella, Nebraska or Texas?
Oh, Nebraska.
I would say Nebraska.
I would too.
Yeah. I mean, I know seeding-wise, it's not even close, but, I mean, that was the first time they won a tournament game in the history of the program, and now they got 2 under their belt. But, Yeah, Iowa, is that what you were going to say, Carp?
Yeah.
Iowa's like Cinderella-ish, but they're also in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
And,
Coach's son.
And what's that?
The coach's son's on Nebraska, with Nebraska. Hoiberg. Yeah, that's fun to watch also.
And then with Fran McCaffrey, they've been good. Like, so it's like, I don't know, they're Cinderella-ish, but excited to watch all the games here starting tonight and over the next handful of days. And Carp, what did you juice today, sir?
Goodness, yesterday.
You know what? Sorry, let me interrupt you real quick. I was super juiced when I woke up this morning and saw a text. Two texts. From you, because I knew I recognized Joffrey from somewhere.
Yes.
But like I never just took the effort to like look it up. And when I saw that, I was like, you got to be kidding me. Batman saved this child. And he turned it, but that was priceless this morning because I was like, because I knew it was like a small.
Where am I seeing you?
It wasn't like anything too big, and he was pretty young, so I was like, maybe I'm just recognizing it, thinking I recognize him from somebody else or whatever. And then as soon as I saw that this morning, I was like, oh my gosh, that's what it's from.
There's a lot of Game of Thrones in my algorithm. I'm trying to send you things that you would enjoy that won't spoil anything because there's other stuff that it would be too much. There's things you wouldn't understand, so you wouldn't quite find as interesting. So that's got me juiced. Yesterday, I woke up, came here, taught my first class, went straight to the Woody after. Actually, I went to the Woody first, worked out quickly, taught class, went back to the Woody, was there for like 3.5 hours. I felt like Schlegs. For lunch, I had beef jerky and a coffee. And then I went and taught 2 more classes. I felt like I was a truck driver.
Caffeine and protein.
That's really all it was. Went and taught 2 more classes. And then I went and had a couple drinks with one of my friends after, a couple of my buddies after class because I was I was on my feet all day. I was psychologically exhausted. And I'm like, I haven't been home in like 13 hours. And I need to decompress a little bit. And then I watched The Landman before I went to bed after watching some UNC and Northwestern women's lacrosse, which was tremendous. And now we're back here, and it's the first day of the weekend. So super excited about that and pumped for it. Thitoff, what's got you juiced?
Let's see. First of all, just a quick correction. Fran McCaffrey's no longer at Iowa. Ben McCullum's the head coach there.
Yeah, I knew that.
Oh,
I was just saying as far as like a Cinderella goes, like, they've always been pretty good under him.
Good call.
But yeah.
Ben McCullum looks angry all the time, too, by the way. What's got me juiced? It's too late. So thank you to Albert Breer for joining us. Thank you to Ya Highness. I'm looking forward to April 6th and the insurrection we'll have with Bobby and Bodie out there at the place TBD. Folks, make sure you tune in tomorrow. AJ Hawk's going to join us, and we'll end our week the best way we can tomorrow with him, with